My name is Ken Johnson, Chief Operating Officer of OverDrive IT. My responsibilities include day-to-day operations, herding cats, and driving operational efficiency. We're based in the Chicagoland area, serving clients nationwide. Our company has been in business since 2000, but in 2017, we began pivoting from ERP consulting to managed services. In 2022, we reinvented ourselves as a hybrid MSP and MSSP, and our services focus on security-minded clients, usually those with compliance considerations, and we're serving verticals ranging from finance and healthcare all the way out to the Wild West, manufacturing. Right now, we have a comprehensive cybersecurity suite. We have next-generation antivirus, as well as SOC SIM solutions, data loss prevention, and a range of ThreatLocker products, including elevation and storage control, allow listing, and ring fencing. We are serving a number of folks in financial services, which are ubiquitously SOC 2 compliant, but we're not responsible for compliance. They have a compliance officer that tells us do this, don't do that, and we implement accordingly. We're courting a couple of opportunities in the defense industrial base. We've got a CMMC level 2 opportunity, but that hasn't materialized yet. Doing business in healthcare, we of course have HIPAA, and ThreatLocker can help us with the auditing there, but really it's more about the rules to stop us from having anything to audit in the first place. The criteria we had for moving forward with ThreatLocker were twofold. One, it had to provide a quality experience for the client. Two, it had to be manageable for the services team. These were non-negotiable. When we realized that ThreatLocker was capable of comprehensively addressing so many issues at once at a price point that was less than the aggregate of the other solutions we were looking at, moving forward was a no-brainer. ThreatLocker helps us achieve our objective of maintaining a happy and secure client base. Because it's so comprehensive, it was intimidating to get started with, but I can't speak highly enough of the training materials and the availability of the ThreatLocker team and the resources that they provide for us. Goodness, one of the founding executives runs a regular boot camp to walk folks like me through how not to run the product into a wall. It's fantastic. Between support always being available on demand, the university, some of the blog posts that are relevant in talking about the things going on today, all of this being available on demand, support team on demand, I don't think that we've ever had to wait more than 15 seconds to get in touch with someone qualified to solve the problem, and a regular cadence of meetings with the ThreatLocker team to discuss how we're doing, where we're going, what we're doing. They really not only stand behind their product, but they stand behind us. And there's not much more that we could ask for. We were in the market for a zero-trust endpoint security solution because experience taught us that a well-intentioned good person can be equally, if not more dangerous than a capable threat actor. In a world where everyone wants their favorite screensaver or prefers browser X to browser Y and wants to store all of their most sensitive passwords in it, we realized that it is up to us as the service provider to determine and technologically limit what is best for everyone. And that's what ThreatLocker does for us. Some of the challenges we faced prior to implementing ThreatLocker were not only security related, but also practical. We all know that we don't want folks being able to go out and download whatever they want willy-nilly, or for shadow IT to step in and start trying to run the show independently of us. But we were also constantly going back and forth with vendors. This vendor says, my product needs to be run as a local admin, or this vendor says, you need to set up a service account that runs this as admin. With ThreatLocker, we don't have to go back and forth with people. We don't have to argue about it. We don't have to try to determine what does it actually need versus what they say it need. We can go in the user's context, who is not an administrator, and tell them, elevate this particular process or product. ThreatLocker also addressed challenges that we didn't initially realize that it would. For example, every now and again, somebody moves a folder on a file server. Now we have Windows auditing, and going through Windows audit logs is about as much fun as watching paint dry or herding cats. But with ThreatLocker, we can go into the audit log and see not only who moved the file, but when the file was moved, where the file was moved, and it makes it a lot easier for us to go out and grab that back. In that same vein, it helps us from a data loss prevention perspective. If someone triggers an alert for downloading a large amount of content from a file server, we can go into ThreatLocker and see that potential insider threat, then put all of that information onto a thumb drive, which of course raises more cause for concern. ThreatLocker has helped us to streamline cybersecurity and improve business efficiency by reducing shadow IT, enabling us to enforce and maintain approved software inventory, improving auditing, and making the principle of least privilege practical for those apps requiring selective elevation. Further, requests for approval or elevation within ThreatLocker are all managed within the platform. And that means we're no longer running scripts, remoting in, or any of the other time-consuming avenues available to us to service those routine requests. ThreatLocker contributes to our success by making us look better. The other day, an executive at our newest client submitted a request through ThreatLocker. When it was approved within about 30 seconds, he replied back to say, "Wait, that's it? It works? Just like that? And you didn't have to remote in or anything? That's amazing. We think so too." The most significant achievement that ThreatLocker has facilitated for us is the reduction in administrative privileges, whether that's from a security perspective, a functionality perspective, or just having to manage additional accounts or to script batch files to elevate this, but don't elevate that, having to go back and forth with vendors for troubleshooting. Not only do we enjoy that as the service provider, but we've gotten exceptional feedback from our clients, everyone from the boots on the ground that are actually doing the work on that specialized piece of equipment or needing to run the umpteenth QuickBooks update for this month, whatever the case might be. And then at the tactical level, the manager saying, "You know what? Wow, my folks aren't having to put in as many tickets around these things because it's already taken care of." And then the executive leadership getting the feedback that, wait a minute, we're able to operate more efficiently as the result of not only our service provider, but the ThreatLocker product behind them. And then, of course, everything that we get to enjoy as the result of that. It improves the relationship. It improves our security posture. It makes everything better for everyone. It's a winning situation for everyone. Over the next 3 months, our goals are to continue driving that operational efficiency. Specifically, we're improving in the areas of automation and trying to drive everything that we possibly can through an API, thus reducing human error, making sure that the expected output is achieved, so on and so forth. There are so many of these routine tasks that we all do and have grown accustomed to. The more of that we can automate, the more that we can do with less to focus on those issues and tasks that require that kind of brain power, like herding cats, which is really just another name for the great big bucket of fun we have with day-to-day service delivery. The biggest challenges on the horizon for us are continuing to maintain security with increasingly fuzzy perimeters and cloud adoption in an ever-evolving threat landscape. We appreciate the moves that ThreatLocker is making, specifically their upcoming product, ThreatLocker Ops. They've got a fantastic product that allows the community to drive defenses to emerging threats. And that's incredible. I appreciate that even though we're a relatively small service provider, we're a part of a much larger community, and ThreatLocker brings other perspectives and other folks to us so that we can collaboratively address these kinds of threats and concerns. We couldn't recommend ThreatLocker more highly. It's a capable product provided by exceptional people, and collectively, they're helping us to mature and exceed expectations at all levels, whether that's internally with ourselves and continuing to drive that efficiency, or it's making a better day for the client and pleasing a new executive with how quickly we were able to turn a request around, or if it's discussing the best use of the product in one of our regular meetings. It's just a fantastic product that we couldn't be happier with.